with a thick layer of skin. It is characterized by its gray coloration and lack of hair. Manatees are members of a genus of large aquatic mammals, which are grouped in the family Trichechidae, manatees, order of the sirens. In nature, there are 3 species of manatee representatives and one possible one: the Amazonian, American, African, and pygmy. Another name for the manatee is the sea cow. The manatee is a representative of large marine mammals. The 3 species in this family have a body length of about 2.5 to 3.5 meters, and only pygmy manatees grow to a maximum of 1.5 meters. Manatees are characterized by a spindle-shaped. The term is derived from the word spindle, massive form that is completely covered with a thick layer of skin. It is characterized by its gray coloration and lack of hair. The only exception is the vibrissae, the stiff hair on the muzzle. You can look at the manatee animal photo attached below. The vibrissae are tactile hairs and transmit airborne vibrations of the environment to the brain. This not only helps the animal look for suitable directions and food, but also helps it avoid dangerous encounters. In fact, vibrissae are mammalian receptors that have changed over the course of evolution. It is noted that manatees have 6 cervical vertebrae, while other mammals have 7. The head of the animal is small, which it can't turn from side to side. This is probably due to the missing vertebrae. Manatees have to see what's out there. The muzzle is small and square in shape. On the sides of the face are small, deep-set eyes, the eyelids on which are closed in a circular fashion. There is a special membrane on the eyes that protects the pupils and iris. The manatee lacks external ear structure, but this does not prevent the animal from hearing perfectly. The muzzle has large, deeply parted lips, the role of which is to collect food. Food is collected simultaneously in both lips. A characteristic feature of manatees is a constant change of molars. The process is as follows: the old teeth grow behind them, gradually pushing them to the front of the jaw. At the front of the torso are flattened limbs that form fins. On these fins are nail-like hooves. The body is completed by a flattened caudal fin, which is shaped like an oar. These fins are just a single blade. Manatees prefer either complete solitude or moving in pairs. These animals are not territorial, so leadership and following the leader is alien to them. They are active in the evening, at night, and in the morning, but they rest during the day. It is noted that manatees living in captivity feed during the daytime. Manatees preferentially gather in packs only on 2 occasions: 1, when the mating season arrives; 2, there is sun-warmed area with plenty of food. As a rule, such gatherings do not exceed more than 6 individuals in a pack. Manatees are not capable of living in water temperatures below 17 degrees Celsius. Cold water absorbs too much heat, and due to the animal's slow metabolism, the situation makes it harder for manatees to get warm. Therefore, the sea cows are constantly migrating in search of warmer waters. They prefer a temperature of about 22 degrees Celsius. Congregations of manatees are most often observed in artificial warm waters, which are formed by the outflow of power plants. Which doesn't seem logical, but it's the power plants that help manatees not die out. Also, manatees lives in warm natural springs, canals, and pools. Manatees do not go on land and are considered fully aquatic animals. In order to fill their bodies with oxygen, the animals stick their nostrils out to the surface and dive back in for 1 to 2 minutes. Although, the size of manatees' lungs allows them to stay underwater for about 20 minutes underwater. These animals prefer to live in shallow water. Here they breed, feed and sleep, only occasionally leaving the water to get a breath of fresh air. They move along the bottom using their front flippers. Manatees are vegetarians and feed exclusively on aquatic plants. So, for example, the manatee eats seagrasses, while those that live in rivers eat freshwater plants. It is also noted that manatees are able to eat algae. Because of the low caloric content of the food manatees eat very often. According to National Geographic researchers, an adult consumes 1/10 of its body weight per day, that's 50 to 60 kilograms of plants. Manatees live along the Atlantic coast, eastern U.S., and continues all the way to Brazil. Manatees completely inhabit the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. Also, manatees live in rivers such as the Amazon and Orinoco, so they can be found inland. On the side of the Atlantic West, manatees are common along the coast of the African continent, which stretches from Senegal to Angola. This representative of the manatee lives exclusively in fresh water. Range: the Amazon River and its tributaries. Preferred habitat: standing ponds, lagoons, river pools. The area must be rich in vegetation for food. Characteristic differences: on the chest is a white or pinkish stain, and the flippers are absent rudimentary claws. Adapted to both salt and fresh water. Lives in shallow oceanic waters, but prefers fresh water as its habitat. Chooses fresh water. On the fins have peculiar hooves. From other representatives can be distinguished by a bluish-gray body color, as well as a bifurcated upper lip that allows you to quickly grab food. Manatees live along the Atlantic coast, eastern U.S., and continues all the way to Brazil. Manatees completely inhabit the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. Also, manatees live in rivers such as the Amazon and Orinoco, so they can be found inland. On the side of the Atlantic West, manatees are common along the coast of the African continent, which stretches from Senegal to Angola. Translated with www.dpel.com/translator, free version.